Let's go. Happy Friday, Mr. Mark. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be back, and I'm glad it's Friday. This is really a TGIF.
Good for you. I saw you drinking earlier. Can you show us your drink?
Yes, a Cabernet, just a
Okay.
Cabernet, a Friday afternoon
I'm
Cabernet.
still on coffee. The 3 hour time zone difference is. Um, I'll
It's
switch.
early.
I'll switch to that later in 3 hours.
It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. I'm kidding. I don't drink. For those of you that know, they're like, "What is Al talking about?" I don't drink, but I'm gonna in my head. I do
You drink
drink
those.
non-alcoholic stuff. Yeah, the
You
fake
drink those
stuff.
fake beers.
Yeah, they actually taste pretty good. You
They
know
do. I
that.
have some of
Yeah,
them.
they don't taste like Oduls. They taste like I like
Oh,
the Heineken Zero or Beck's. Like they actually taste like because when I used to drink, they taste very similar, and they might even have like a little bit of alcohol, but it's like not enough for it to
yeah,
be
it's a tiny
alcoholic.
little bit. It's like a lot of things have a tiny little bit, but
Yeah,
I think I have some Heineken or some St. Pauli Girl Zero in
yeah.
there. And the O'Doul's thing turned everybody off.
The Oduls are terrible. Yeah, they just mess it
Yeah, they
up. Yeah.
were awful. That was the first, like near beer, and it
Hmm.
was just like, oh, that's awful. But then they figured it out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They did. Cool. Well, welcome back. A lot has changed since you and I talked last. I think it was back in May, right, or April.
Yeah, it's been a few
That's when
months.
it was. Yeah, it's been a few months, and wanted to see what you're up to. How's this market treating you? How's AI treating you and your business?
The AI is an unknown thing now. In my particular business, which is Google Ads, um, Google just released Search AI or Search Max AI, whatever it is. Uh, as expected, everything I've heard from it is total crap show. I'm
Hmm.
keeping it clean.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I think we can get away
so
with the C word there.
so take PMAX and make it worse.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. It started to pop up on recommendations, though, implement our AI. But for some reason, Google has a limited ability to improve on the base product. It's kind of like what they had worked really, really well.
Hmm.
And they keep coming up with, new things, probably because everyone has to come up with new things, but it hasn't outperformed the base product, the
It's
basic search campaigns.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I think Google is just reacting at this point because I think they got caught off guard with OpenAI release of ChatGPT and how good it was and how crappy Bard was, and then it became Gemini. Now Gemini's got a lot better. I actually like it now, but Google fell behind in the AI
Hmm.
world. They got too comfortable, and then nobody challenged them for decades, and then all of a sudden comes ChatGPT and then Perplexity and Claude, and now people are using those as a search engines. At least when it comes to informational stuff. Like I was actually in another meeting earlier today on the B2B side, which we work with a lot. A lot of clients are saying that their organic traffic from Google has dropped because in B2B there's a lot of demand generation. There's a lot of um, like a higher funnel type of blogging. They focus a lot on
Hmm.
that type of things.
It'll
And
be interesting to see. I think it'll affect SEO negatively and potentially affect PPC positive, Google Ads positively. And my
yeah,
theory
yeah,
behind
that was actually the finding, was that the finding wasn't exactly affecting SEO negatively. It's basically saying that Google is becoming more transactional because people are not going to Google to look for information anymore. Like at the more this
I
as
think
soon
that's
as
what the AI will
Yeah,
cover.
as soon as people figure out, oh, ChatGPT or Claude or whatever gives me a better answer, they're gonna skip Google. But for transaction, they'll still go to Google because those stuff are not giving you that, at least not yet.
I
Um,
think that the AI, from my perspective, as a Google Ads practitioner, is noise, and Google still remains signal. People will make their buying decisions on
yeah, yeah,
Google.
yeah. No, so I think what's happening is that because again, like I said, B2B, doing a lot of B2B, the consumer journey is no longer starting at Google, but still it could still very well end at Google, right? So
That's
people
all
can,
I care about.
yeah, people can start somewhere else, but when they're ready to buy, they can still go to Google. So I think and same thing with SEO. Maybe we don't. A lot of times we wanted to rank for informational stuff. Maybe we need to start thinking about ranking for transactional stuff, right? Because people, and then for informational stuff, we want to increase our visibility in ChatGPT, and that's a different ball game. They have different. I've been looking into that. That's more of a branding and digital PR, and not so much about the traditional SEO. And Google also trying to compete with them with the Google AI mode, which hasn't been fully released to everybody yet. So I suspect that, I still like Google when I search for things that I'm looking for, that I'm not in a research mode. Like if I'm looking for local business, I go nowhere else but Google. That's where I go.
Right.
Right. If I'm looking for image search, I usually start Google because Google has already indexed them, and it shows up a lot faster. Like one of the problem I have with AI is that even though it takes a couple of seconds, if you're searching a lot, it adds up. It's annoying because every time you tell it something, it thinks about it, then it gives you a result. Because of it indexes first, it gives you things really quickly. So I think Google will continue to be relevant for both SEO and SEM, at least for the time being. But I think that the search behaviors will change, where people will go there for more instant results.
The big thing with local SEO, and I'm not a local SEO guy, but if I was, I would assume that I need to put all my attention into ranking on maps, because till you get past LSAs, till you get past Google Ads, till you get past maps and get to organic results, and 90% of those are Wikipedia or Angie's List or something like that, that's a really tough game to try to get people to click by scrolling way down the page.
They don't do it, especially if they're on the mobile. We had this news is news is a couple months old. We had a car accident attorney client, and we tested it. We wanted them to rank in Irvine, where I live, and he ranked Irvine car accident attorney. I think it was he would dance between number 1 and 2 and 3, but he was always top 3. But he had different phone numbers on his organic website than his GMBs through call tracking. We realized that even though he was ranking prominently in organic, the number 1 driver of calls were LSAs in that order: LSAs, GMBs, paid traditional Google PPC, and then SEO.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we've taken on LSAs too, because to me, they're like help you own that top of the page. And sometimes your LSAs work beautifully. Sometimes your LSAs,
it's crapshoot, because you have no control.
Yeah, so you take both of them. You take Google Ads, you take the LSA, and then what people don't realize is everything is set it and forget it for most folks. With LSA, if you're not on top of it, they're only showing 2 ads up there.
Yeah. So explain to me how, if you're not on top of it, what do you do to optimize LSAs? There's not much you can do.
You make sure that you answer your calls. That's number 1, because response time is huge. Make sure you're getting your reviews. But the other thing is, like when we monitor, for example, we're going to report to a client today that while he was away, 8 message leads that came in that were like bottom of the funnel didn't get responded to.
Yeah.
2 things there. First of all, the business owner would never know that because no one has time to manage or monitor their LSAs. First of all, the business owner would never know that. Second of all, if you don't respond, Google will look for someone that does and put that up there. Responds in 1 hour, responds in 24 hours, whatever it is. So most of our LSA management, which is super cheap, by the way, is more of just trying to get people to do the things they should do.
Yeah.
The other aspects are like you can have things go out. Like if you don't pay attention to it, your insurance could lapse because you have to send in like insurance during the verification process. Well, let's say your insurance lapsed at the end of June or your contract did. Well, you re-upped that insurance, but Google doesn't know that. So they're like, oh, your insurance ended at the end of June. So
Yeah.
therefore we're not going to show your ads. So it's just it's just maintenance, really.
Let me
Making
ask
sure
you a
people are doing
question.
what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do, which
Is
no
it
one.
better? Is it better to have your LSA under your main Google Ads account, or you have to have a different account? That's the question.
I've always seen it under the main Google. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. You just have to have a Google Ads account. I don't know of any advantage to having it in a separate one.
Yeah,
I guess
and
if
also,
I don't even know if you can have it in a
so I
separate
want to
one.
tell you why I asked that question. We had a client that we had his Google My. He had already set up his Google Ads in another email, and then his Google My Business profiles in another email, and then LSA is attached to your GMB. So we set up his GMB. I mean his LSA through the other email
Right.
where the GMBs were at, and I really tried integrating these two, and I couldn't. So essentially, we linked them. You can link him, but you can move everything to one email. And I'm just curious to see if there's an advantage of having all of it in one place. Because in SEO, there is a slight advantage if you have your Google My Business and Google Search Console and everything in one place. Um, and Google Analytics, there's a little bit of data.
I would think it would be much easier to manage, and you can set up your location extension if it's.
Yeah, location extension. Right,
Yeah.
right.
The only disadvantage I could see is in a case where you got your Google Ads account suspended, would they also suspend your LSA? That I don't know.
Yeah. And why would you want to get your
I've
Google
not run
Ads
into that
suspended?
situation. They don't suspend accounts like they used to, though. Like
Yeah.
2 years ago, they were going like hog wild, like Facebook, you know, just suspending people left and right.
Yeah.
But not so much now.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if there's advantage or disadvantage, because it's a lot of businesses, whether they're small or large, they don't think about this stuff when they're setting up Google Analytics. Like even the larger companies. The other day I was talking with a larger company, e-commerce company. They had, 3 different emails for different accounts. One email for Google Search Console, one for Google Ads.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, and because different people at different time created these, and
or your agent, some agency comes in and says,
people jump agencies. Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm curious about. But let's go back to AI again. So you and I were chatting on DM the other day, and you said you're going to run some tests, manual CPC versus.
Yeah, I'm just about to do that actually.
Okay, you haven't done it yet.
What really is ticking me off is we typically start campaigns max clicks.
Yeah.
Which is a Google Ads automated.
You're trying to get data.
The problem is that it sometimes starts super slow. And now I've got a client up my butt, like, how come there's no ads running? I'm like, there's a learning period. It's, up to 12 days, but they don't want to hear that. So I'm like thinking,
and they like to see their own ads, even though you tell them that's not the.
Yeah, they want to see their own ads, and they're sending me images of like, oh, my ads aren't shown anywhere. I'm like, yeah, I'm painfully aware of that, but that's not on me. That's on the algorithm.
And what I usually tell them is that actually, we don't want you to see your own ads because we want your customers to see them. You're not your own customer, dude.
In this case, is they're like not. Yeah, we're only 48 hours in. So it's a crazy, it's a slightly obsessed client, but they're simply max clicks isn't showing ads. And I know that it's not, we haven't set some incredibly low click cost or something like that. So it's literally just the algorithm taking its time. So I'm thinking I'll just run a manual campaign. I haven't run manual for a while, and I'll run it exact match because exact match, as you know, is not exact match.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's not even close to exact match anymore.
It's like more of it reminds me of maybe a phrase match, like exact match. It's really a phrase match, or even a broad match modifier. Yeah. It's more of a broad match, the old broad match modifier. Like it's just like not exact.
Yeah, it's more like it's almost like that, except if you do braces near me, it shows orthodontic searches. So orthodontic would not have shown up under the old exact match rules. It wouldn't have shown up under the old phrase match rules, and it wouldn't have shown up under the old broad match modifier rules. They just decided well, orthodontists do braces, but we did braces specifically because that term converts at a much higher rate than orthodontist, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
this is me getting a little philosophical for it. Google is putting um its revenue before doing the right thing, right?
they do no harm. They
Yeah.
do no, they do. Isn't that what they're do no? Yeah, that can't be because
Yeah.
I read their slogan.
Yeah, I as an
Well, no, yeah,
SEO
they
guy,
do.
every time they said, "Oh, do what's right for the user," I'm like, "Yeah, BS." Like, I'm not gonna.
That's why every recommendation is to increase your budget, add broad match.
Yeah, it's all
Go,
money. It's all money. Yeah, if they want to
yeah.
make more money, but the problem, what that's doing is that's turning people off the other channels. People are fed up with it, and like social media, Microsoft, and very soon this AI stuff like Perplexity, and has now a shopping feed for e-commerce. I would not be surprised if they start uh, providing some sort of ads, like Perplexity ads or ChatGPT. But for the time being, Google is never the game, and I think it will be like that for a long time, um, until robots completely take over in our lives, and we have a bigger
It
problem.
won't matter because we won't
It
have
won't
to do
matter.
anything but like
We'll
play
probably be
guitar
dead.
and paint pictures
We'll probably be dead. Yeah.
and work for the robots.
Work for the
I'm pretty
robots.
sure
Yeah,
we'll work for the
yeah,
robots.
Terminator. Yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, that's definitely Google's putting profits before, because I don't even like LSAs that much. I feel like we spent so many years mastering an SCM. There was Google Ad certifications and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden LSAs pop up out of nowhere,
Well,
and,
LSAs are a
and you
challenge
can't
too.
you
If
can't
you
even
don't,
optimize them that much.
they only
It's
give you
just
certain categories.
yeah, and you have very high level categories like attorney, like, or estate
Right.
planning. Well, what if I'm estate planning, but I don't want to do a certain part of estate planning. I just want litigation.
Right.
I don't want non litigation. That was a challenge we had with a former client. It's like, hey, LSA is bringing me a lot of leads, but I only care about litigations. I don't want to create living trust for anybody. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like,
Well,
there's no.
you know how it is. People think that we are like holding out on them somehow. Like it's not us. I would only have your ad show for the exact thing that you want to show your ad for.
Yeah,
Try,
it's not us. Even the exact match, like you said earlier, is not exact match. And
not
then
even close.
And then the search volumes that Google Ad Keyword Planner tell you is a complete joke. That's nowhere close to be a reality.
Well, I think the hidden charge is that with all this expanded search and
Yeah.
particularly a lot of people running campaigns based on Google's guidelines, which is
Yeah.
broad match, P match, they're driving up click. They're not only driving up volume, they're driving up click costs for the people that actually know what they're doing. So there's some niches that are really hard to make it in. Let's say pressure washing,
Yeah.
because the cost per click is so high that a lead has to convert, your leads have to convert at almost 100%, into sales to make
Yeah.
it viable. So they've driven up the click costs, and I think that's the strategy: drive the click cost up, and then drive the revenue up. So it's not just that they're getting people to spend more; they're spending more on each click.
Yeah. I'm still a big advocate of branding. This is something I learned when I worked at Experian back in 2000. I don't know. I worked for Experian twice. One was I was a program, and then I went back as a technical SEO.
Mhm.
And the second time I was part of the marketing team. I collaborated a lot with the PPC team, and we had a website called freecreditreport.com
Mhm.
that wasn't Experian, but it was one of our websites, and we A/B tested one with Experian logo, one without Experian logo, and the one with Experian logo like converted a lot higher.
10 times higher, probably.
I don't remember the percentage. And obviously, Experian logo, brand equity had a lot to do with the conversion rate. Literally same PPC, everything the same, just traditional A/B
Having brand
testing.
awareness is
Yeah,
good,
I
and
was trying to
also
get that. I was trying to get there. Like maybe a lot of local businesses need to focus on local SEO and branding and stuff like that, and
run some Facebook remarketing, that sort of
Facebook
thing.
marketing, that
Yeah.
sort of thing, before they start non branded SEM, because that is very expensive, and even the national level businesses compete with you at local level makes it harder. I was trying to help out somebody who had a coffee shop this is like I think it's last summer, and like he was going against Starbucks and Phil's Coffee and all these other people. I'm like,
That's rough. That's rough right there.
I'm like, dude, like unless you do something that Starbucks doesn't sell, like organic CBD infused coffee or something like that.
Yeah, that's where
Like,
you have to have like
yeah,
capybaras in your cafe or something, you know.
yeah. I'm like, you're a local SEO play. Like, you just have to double down on local SEO and then build a community on social media where people want to go to your coffee shop versus Starbucks because yours looks more, local. It's more
Well, you can't
Starbucks is.
compete against it. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
Now, there is
because the
some,
national brands compete with you at local level. On a paid side at least.
if you're a local company competing against nationals, you really, really, really have to play up the local thing, which a
Hmm.
coffee shop would, but I wouldn't imagine they would have the budget to go up against, you
Yeah.
know, the big dogs.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm like, what's your cost? Like, how much you're gonna charge? What the average person buys in every morning? And he wanted to run the ads just in the mornings. And I'm like, okay, let's say we drive people to your store. What's the average ticket? It's like about $10, a muffin and a latte. I'm like, you're gonna pay a lot more than that just for CPC, not per lead for CPC. So I
I
don't think,
mean, he'd have to look at his lifetime value at that point. He
yeah,
can't look at
the immediate thing,
but
yeah.
if they come in every
But when
week
it
for
comes
a
to
year,
coffee,
then
there is
you're
no lifetime
talking
value. I go all over.
$500 maybe, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's complicated. I think Google Ads, while it's a good tool, it's not as, especially since they're taking away more control from us and rely on AI more. I think it's becoming more of a bigger company game. I
Well, one
mean,
of the challenges that you have to go there still,
yeah,
because literally you're not going to get found.
yeah,
You can run Facebook ads. I do some Facebook ads, but quality is going to be lower.
yeah,
Show up rate's going to be lower. You know, everything's going to be. It's totally different than someone actively searching for you. I will say that I found a couple of niches that I'm really going to focus in on. I'm not going to mention the niches because I don't want everyone else focusing in on them.
yeah,
But if you can find a niche with relatively low competition but fairly high revenue per sale, that's
yeah,
a good niche to be in for Google Ads. It's the low revenue niches, especially niches that are filled with people who are not particularly marketing savvy.
yeah.
So if you're a marketing savvy
Hmm.
home cleaning business, you're going to be able to clean up in your area, so to speak, because most of the uh, home cleaning companies are just local mom and pop type things.
Hmm. Yeah,
So if you have some marketing skills, you're going to be able to own that market. Um, Not a
yeah,
bad business to be in, by the way, but
yeah,
because it's got recurring revenue.
yeah. Well, I found a niche, but I'm more than happy to tell you. Where is Jeffrey Epstein list? That's a good niche.
Yeah, we're waiting on that one to come out.
There's no list. Okay, let's not,
The list
let's
went
keep
down with Jeffrey
business.
when he killed himself.
And he killed himself. Yeah. Look. I wanted to see. Have you explored any AI tools since we spoke last outside ChatGPT? Like, is
A
there
little
any
bit
good
of Grok,
tool for
mostly to write things for me.
Grok?
A little bit of Grok. I will tell you that Facebook ads does a good job of putting people in your ads. I like to have people in my ads. I don't like a picture of a roof
Yeah.
or a picture of a porch or something.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job of spicing up my picture with realist or my ads with, based on the images people gave me, with some really realistic looking people in. They didn't
Yeah.
have seven fingers or anything like that. So from that perspective, I have, I don't know, do tools like the video editing that drop in the captioning. Are they considered AI? I don't know if that's AI or not.
I mean, yeah, there are, but I'm talking about specific about Google Ads,
No, nothing, nothing.
I like something that would help you write ads or help you manage ads or add negatives. This particular client we worked with, he had the word accident lawyer in his name. Let's say,
Hmm.
and I'm not gonna mention his name, but let's say if I was a lawyer, my name is Al, right? Al, accident lawyer, right? So if I want to, and he because he did a lot of TV and radio advertising, he just wanted to bid on own brand. So if you bid, even if you put exact match and put Al accident
Yeah,
lawyer,
you'd
you're
have
still
to
gonna show up
negative
with a
out
bunch of other accident
every
lawyers. Yeah.
other.
So
Yeah,
what he wanted us to do is every morning, like 5 in the morning, go in there and manually add a bunch of negatives, and we did that. Eventually, it became sustainable.
sounds like a delightful client.
I told him, dude, this is not a good way to do it. So, but this would be a good case for AI. It's like AI going in, adding negative on a fly.
I
Uh,
think the challenge with AI and Google Ads is that it's subjective and nuanced, and I don't think AI does subjective, nuanced things particularly well. For example, you might have to understand the intent of someone when they search for something, or
mhm.
you might have to understand affordable is often a brand name as opposed to a search term.
Yeah,
So, or you could, there's all kinds of implications. I haven't seen any non-AI software that performs particularly uh, well. There
yeah,
are some pieces of software that do a decent job of informing you of things like,
yeah.
you've got
Sorry,
Google.
I took away from you. No, can you finish your thought? I shared this screen a little too early. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen there's some, pieces of software that do a fairly decent job of like making suggestions, but I've never seen
Yeah.
a good AI piece of software to improve the performance of a campaign.
Yeah, I'm trying to test out make.com, which is like Zapier or Zapier.
Right.
And it's an integrative tool where you can hook up, like, let's send them, like, yeah, they have some templates and you can create your own templates where you can, like, send an email when a campaign Google ad is close to hitting this budget. Send an email when a campaign in Google ad encounters average CPC, pause, activate campaign. Send performance stats from Google Ads and email, manage Google Ads campaign and data in a desired destination. So I'm curious to see how much more you can do with Make.com. Um, and there's something that you may want to try too, for some of your automated stuff, because my business is changing a lot. I don't want to rely on people to do some really basic stuff,
Hmm.
because we are dropping our prices by a lot, especially for PPC and paid media. Before we used to pay like around $50 per hour for someone to go and just add negative to do some of the stuff that automation can do now. So I am all for automation for basic stuff, not strategic stuff, but for like, if I, like, for example, just like this, like, manage Google Ads campaign data and send it to the desired destination, or email when a campaign Google Ads encounter a CPC. You could do this also within Google platform, but the reason I brought this up is, if on your free time, if you want to mess around, it's make.com, and they also have agentic AI where you can actually have specific agents. Right now, it's becoming very easy to create little tools using agents and stuff like this. So my to-do list is to automate our paid media as much as we can, because another challenge I had last year that we had when we were managing, and we're going to talk about that because you and I have been talking about this quite a bit recently on our morning walks when we
Hmm.
talk to each other. So I think the increasingly the new Google, and this is not to badmouth anybody, but the newer generation Google Ads experts are nothing like you and I. They're
No,
and
I don't think
and
they're Google Ads experts.
yeah, they're not Google Ads experts. They just set it and forget it, guys. And I just got tired of hiring them, giving them good hourly monies or good salaries, and getting let down. And these are really good people. Really, they're smart. Don't get me wrong. They're extremely smart, intelligent. But I think something about the new, all this automation stuff, they're setting, Google is purposely setting these PPC people, these Google Ads people, to be exactly like that. Where you and I had to literally do an elaborative keyword research. The keyword researches I do compared to the ones that they do is like night and day. I literally don't. I
Do they
lose.
do keyword research, or they just go in and take suggestions
They take
automatically.
suggestion, they give you 20. I lose sleep over keyword research. Like I'm that bad. And you know what? I thought mine was good till I saw my buddy's keyword research, Steve Wiedemann. He's like next level OCD there. Shout out to Steve, a good friend. But the newer generation is like, I'm like, hey, can you do keyword research? And they give me 10 keywords. I'm like, what the hell? Like seriously? And then you go to look at the account history, they haven't logged in like a week and a half, 2 weeks,
Or a month or 6
or
months.
month or so. And I'm like, hey, we're paying a retainer. Customers paying us retainer for this.
Mhm.
And then do I have to do everything ourselves? Then they go over a budget. Oh yeah, I was on a holiday or whatever. Like really? Or you couldn't have told me. And they're smart people, but I think there's a structured discipline issue with the new paid media people because they're relying too much on automation. Do you agree?
I would say that 90% of the campaigns we see are crap.
Yeah.
So
there's so many opportunity only if you know when to use automation and not to use automation.
I mean, one of the challenges is you can create a beautiful Google Ads campaign, perfect,
Yeah.
and still have problems making it perform.
Mm-hmm.
What they do typically is they'll set up a PMax or something like that. They'll see conversions. They'll say, look, I'm kicking butt. I'm getting $7 conversions, but you're not getting leads. Conversions ain't leads.
Yeah.
You're getting someone clicking on a direction on a GMB or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something that's not a lead, a phone call with intent.
And then if it's a lead, is it a good lead or not a good lead, right? That's
right. Is it a marketing qualified lead? That's our goal. Our goal is to create marketing qualified leads.
Mm-hmm. And Google Ads, unlike social media ads, is a low funnel lead. So there's not a whole lot of nurturing you should do if you. So that I mean
it's an urgent service.
Google. Yeah, 2 out of 3 Google Ads leads should be MQL. If not, at least like 1.5 or like 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4.
So you have people that will opt into networks they shouldn't. They will use broad match entirely and never do a negative keyword, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, broad match is the way I do it. I use a little bit of broad match and phrase match to get data, and then I go exact match. Or do you recommend just going all exact match?
No, exact and phrase and broad match if you are either desperate for traffic or in some cases you can run
nonprofits. Like we run a nonprofit campaign, we're desperate for traffic.
Yeah, if you're doing broad match, in some cases we have broad, like, okay, so if we start a campaign with exact and phrase, which is often how we do it, max clicks, we might move at some point into max conversions, max conversion target CPA. But the client says, okay, this is doing really good, but I want more leads. At that point, we'll run an experiment, 50% of their traffic to a broad match campaign, everything else the same. But going in that you're going to have to add negatives like crazy. But also, if you are running a broad match experiment, broad match max conversions TCPA with good history, you're going to get better leads than if you just start out broad match max clicks type of thing. But there is a case for broad match, but I think you step into it or you use it as like a Hail Mary many times. A lot of people just go straight broad match and nothing else, broad match, no conversion tracking, one ad group, whatever. And you're going to get traffic. One of the challenges that we have when we take over a campaign, if they've been running it wrong, they've been sending traffic to search partners to display, they'll be like 2 weeks later, the client's like, oh my God, my search volume dropped by 90% and my cost per click went up, 500%. Yes, that is true because now we're targeting actual searches for the thing you do in the area that you do it. We're not targeting, crappy, third-party websites where people apply for jobs and stuff like that. So targeted traffic on Google Ads is expensive.
Yeah.
If you're getting cheap clicks, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And also, there's also the story of pausing campaigns.
You don't want to do that if you've got an algorithm going.
Yeah, SMBs do that a lot. Again, with a returning client that we had that we no longer have, that's something I always told them, stop pausing your ads. Like the moment they got busy, they would pause it, and then when they were on busy, like when they wanted more leads again, they would like turn it back on. I'm like, it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna take
Even if you're
how many days? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes they would talk down on me. It's like that it's my fault. I'm like, no, it's your fault and it's Google's fault. I'm just
right.
like turning things back.
No, I'm having that right now. You're the
Yeah.
Google Ads expert. Why isn't my traffic there? Because we're running max clicks. It takes
Yeah.
a while to kick in. Literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
So the other thing is like, well, we would prefer people to reduce their budget rather than pause their campaigns, like just spend less. But if you're running a target CPA of like 100 and all of a sudden you reduce your budget to $50 a day, that messes. I mean, once you're zoned in and have a good lead flow and a good cost per lead, anything you do to that campaign is not going to be helpful. Like even if you optimize it and you want to bring your target CPA down a little bit, bring it down by dollars. Don't bring it down 50% because it just skews things. Once you get something zoned in, be thankful. Don't mess with it. Have someone answer the phone while you're gone. Yeah, that's my advice.
I agree. This is why we have CRMs and automations. Like keep taking those leads, and then you can reach out to them when you can, but don't mess up with the algorithm. Don't mess up with all that stuff. Sorry, I keep meeting myself back and forth because the gardener's here. Let's go back to our AI again. So
back to AI again.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm afraid of AI. I'm afraid because I'm going to lose my job at some point to it. I don't know when. But when that happens, I think we have a bigger societal problem because it's going to have a bunch of unemployed people. But I'm also excited because of the amount of automation that I can do right now that I couldn't do before. So my question and I can also keep things lower overhead. Like I said, if I do some of this stuff using Make.com, Zapier, or whatever, build my own agents, I won't have to hire someone at $50 per hour to just add negative keywords. I can do that here. So my goal is to go toward that direction, and that pass the saving to the customers. That's my goal. What is your goal adopting AI? Do you have any goals, or do you want to keep going status quo?
I will adopt AI when I see effective implementations of AI. Otherwise, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's an AI agency out there. I've seen, I work with a lot of agencies. I've seen 1,000 people become AI agencies. Can you tell me what an AI agency is?
That's a stupidest name, AI agency, because if everything's going to become AI,
I'll be excited about AI when I can implement something useful. Occasionally, it does some good.
I think our job as marketers is just to learn AI, just how we learned when we learned Google Ads and new features came out. We also have to learn what AI can do for you. And what I've noticed, Mark, is that every release of OpenAI or ChatGPT or whatever, it gets smarter and smarter. They used to when I used to generate banner images in ChatGPT, like you said, like the example you gave earlier, we used to give me a guy with like 7 fingers, and now it's actually 5 fingers, right? So I think it's gonna get better and better. I'm gonna use this as a smart automation. I'm gonna continue being in the driver's seat. I'm gonna continue to be in the strategist.
I will continue to adopt it as I see people like you do something useful with it. Most of what I've seen so far is not particularly useful.
Yeah, because of quote unquote capitalism. People see the opportunity, they create a tool, they go raise money, and then it's business first, not solution first. Whereas I think AI, and this happened by the way in the .com days. Remember .com? People were spending $20,000-$30,000 for like five-page websites. I used to work for a .com company that charged somebody $100,000 to create a Flash only website. And it was completely useless. Remember Flash?
Yeah.
So I think there are those people that jump. There's this shiny object to jump on the trend and they just make some fast cash. Then that's a short term with AI. There are Google Ads tools out there. I saw an ad from another agency. This will replace your Google Ads agency, and I did, and your SEO agency, and I did test it out, and no, because everything was too generic, and also they relied on the tags. Every time like let's say you could write title, type meta descriptions, and deploy it. The moment you remove the tag from your website, all that goes away. I think marketers like you and I have to adopt AI gradually. We need to create our own tools, our own
I,
agents.
I will adopt anything that shows me it can work. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that yet.
yeah. Cool.
What it's done useful for me is some images, and there is a lot more hype in there, Dustin. Um, it does good on some images, and it writes things well for me. It
Yeah.
writes better than I do. It gives me answers to things that are complex, but I don't know if they're correct.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's another thing, is that I see a lot of incorrect information, be it content or code.
Well, think about it. Large language model pulls from a wide variety of sources
Yeah,
and gives you an answer based on that. What wide variety of sources do you know on any subject that's really accurate?
yeah, and it's called artificial intelligence for a reason. Artificial, right? It's not real. So you still need to be. I'm curious about it, about like the stuff I showed you earlier about automation, because some of the automation I used to do with Zapier was like just not as good. It was just
I think we're
binary one on zero, and now you can actually add a little bit of logic and reason into it.
but we're in an industry that is super attracted by. First of all, it's full of a lot of marketing hype. Second of all, um, it's people chase a lot of shiny objects,
Mhm.
and more so than any industry I've ever seen.
Oh
Been
yeah, I know. Yeah,
involved in
yeah.
shiny objects. So, and they're desperately trying to figure out how to be relevant.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally it. You're 100% correct. I have interviewed quote unquote AI consultants, and I'm like, okay, tell me about your background. Oh, I was a field major. Okay, like what do you know about AI? And whereas I'm a computer science major and undergrad, and I don't consider myself AI expert. I'm a savvy AI user. I took a course on Coursera and agentic AI and how to prompt better, prompt engineering. But even then, right? I think that's the problem with marketing, the field in marketing, is that a lot of the stuff is kind of about getting attention, getting traffic, getting business, getting leads. It's not real. And that's a warning I give to all the fellow marketers, is that try to learn your gaps first, like what you need help with. For example, the example I gave earlier, figuring out, I want a mechanism to add negative keywords automatically, because I don't want to do it myself. And I need to do it every other day or every day. I don't have time for that. So that would be good usage of AI if someone comes up with it, or if I can figure out how to create a little GPT or a agent. But putting everything in the hand of AI, like some of those tools give you, it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea, especially if your business is like the example I gave you earlier, the estate planning one. Hey, I only want litigation cases, not like the other ones. Like you have specific needs, and you're letting a machine figure it out for you. And at some point it may, but you've already spent so much money, which kind of takes me to my last question. Performance Max, you use it at all or no?
We've tested it. Here's you can get some good leads from Performance Max. Here's the challenge that I've run into. You're going to get crap leads from Performance Max. Overall, even including the crap leads, your cost per lead may be lower. But one of the battles that we fight is not it's not the performance of our campaigns, it's perception. So even if I'm getting a lower cost, let's say I used to get 50 leads from a search campaign, now I get 100 leads.
Mm-hmm.
And they're way cheaper, but a third of them are crap.
Yeah.
We're still further ahead. The average cost per lead, the average conversion rate, the money's going to work out to be better once you close deals and everything. But the client says, I'm getting calls for jobs every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, you are, but you're getting calls for leads. They're much cheaper. Yeah, but I'm getting, so
Yeah.
you're up against the perception of I'm getting crappy leads.
Yeah,
And
you have to
so
have it. You have to have an infrastructure in place that could filter some of those leads out, or else you
you would
won't.
have to have something that
Yeah,
said automatically respond to this if you're interested, and do
yeah,
this and do that. And then
yeah,
you're going to filter out some of your good leads. I've seen it kind of work. It works
yeah,
for e-commerce.
yeah. I don't know. We tested it for e-commerce client. I don't know if it works. it, kind- it,
Well,
it's cannibalizing the brand a lot. That's what it's
put it
doing.
this way, it's not a massive improvement on what exists.
It's cannibalizing the brand. That's all it is doing.
Well,
It's
yeah, if
just,
you exclude brand,
yeah. And if
or
you
you have no
exclude
brand
brand,
equity,
then
then you're kind of screwed.
yeah, yeah. Anyhow, we hit the 45 minutes mark, and I gotta get going. Thanks for jumping on this call. It's
No,
always good to
absolutely.
talk
It's
to
always
you.
a pleasure.
Why don't you give a 1-2 minute recap of who you are, since we didn't introduce in the beginning of the call.
Mark
Everybody
Kelly.
can find you.
Inbound Revenue, inboundrevenue.com. We do white label Google Ads, and we do Google Ads for direct clients. And that's pretty much what we get up and do all day, every day.
And you're the second best Google Ads expert I know after myself.
I'll take that. I'll
I'm
take
joking.
that.
Yeah.
You're the best enterprise SEO and SEM guy that I know, and you're better than
Oh yeah,
me.
enterprise. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Thanks, bud. Have a good one, and
Have a great weekend.
hopefully we find that list.
What's that?
Hopefully we'll find the list. Somebody.
Yes, hopefully. And I'm going to go get some more wine.